We'll just start with prayers. Namam Vishwapadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Nitanamane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashat Dishatarane Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasati Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Jnanatimirantasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Ananta Koti Vaishnavrind Ki Jai Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Nitagaur Premanande Hare Hare Bol. Hare Krishna. So yesterday we discussed, I hope you all can hear me.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes.
Okay. So yesterday we discussed about the Kumara Sambhavam, how Sharavana Bhava or Kartikeya, he was born from Lord Shiva, okay, on a grass, which is expansion of again Parvati Devi. So today, furthermore, we will continue with the Gangavataranam. So Gangavatara, this is where Bhagirath, everyone will come. Now, actually, because they were crossing that Ganga, and there was this is all where Lord Rama asked a question. Now, can you please tell me what is about how this Ganga river, which was flowing in the upper planetary systems, how it came to this Bhuluka? So, Vishwamitra Muni, he was explaining that, my dear Rama, in your dynasty, there was a king. His name is Sagara. Okay, this Sagara had two wives. The first wife's name is Keshini, and she's very dharmini actually. She follows the dharma very nicely, very chaste. The second wife is Arishtanemi or Sumati. And along with these two wives, and he was ruling the kingdom very nicely, as per the rules and regulations, as per the dharma of Kshatriya dharma. But they did not have any kids. So, if you see in this, in the dynasty of Rama, many times the kings were not blessed with kids, and they had to do a lot of yajnas to obtain the children. So, what Sagara and these, along with his two wives, did is he went to Himalayas to do some penance, to get the progeny. But he went along with his wives. So, doing for his tapasya for some time, Bhrigu Maharshi, he appeared. And Bhrigu Maharshi was pleased with the hospitality given by Sagara and his wives. So he asked, what do you want? He said that we came here to do the penance so that we could get some progeny to take this, our lineage, further. So Bhrigu Maharshi said, okay, all right, I bless you that since you have two wives, one wife will get a lot of kids. Okay, and other wife, you will get only one child who will take the family forward. Basically, actually, what happened is the wives asks, what do you want? So Arishtanemi, she said that I want kids who are Ati Utsaha. Utsaha is, what is the word Utsaha in English?
Excited?
Excitement, correct, bro. Thank you. So excitement. Now he asked, what is the boon? She asked that I want the many children, many kids who are Ati Utsaha. Ati Utsaha means overexcited, always very overexcited. And the other wife asked that I just need the Dharmini, the first wife, Keshini. She asked that I just want only one child who can take the lineage, my family lineage forward. So the second wife, she also said that, no, I need 60,000 kids with overexcitement. and they must be very famous. So from the second wife, after conception, after the Garbhadhana Samskara, when she was conceived, an embryo came out. And that embryo, it looked like the honeycomb, or what do you call that? Honey web. Honeycomb, I think. Yeah. So that embryo looked like honeycomb, where 60,000 small kids were all attached like a beehive. Yeah, like a beehive. And for the first wife, Asamanjasa was born. So later on, like when they all got matured, like the 60,000 children were born at once. Almost like twins, how the twins are born, like that 60,000 boys were born. Now they were all growing up. Just imagine how much rich the king must be, that he could manage those many children, 60,000. And as they were all growing up, Asamanjasa was the son of the eldest wife, but he was very crooked. He was not of a good character. So what he used to do is he used to take his friends for playing near the Sarayu river, because they were all ruling from the Ayodhya city. So he used to take their friends to the Sarayu river and then drown each of them into the water till their death. So the children, like whoever child who used to go with him, he never returns. And the parents used to panic. They didn't know where the child is. And he was doing it on a very frequently, such act. So one of the citizens actually he saw when he was drowning the child. And he brought the others and they all saw. And they went to the king and he complained. The king, he shouted at Asamanjasa, and because of his deeds, that either he must be killed or it's equivalent to banishment. A king who is banished is equivalent to to death. It's more painful than death, actually, when a king is banished. It's very painful. Okay, that's where Rama, when he was banished, see, this banished word was, it's banished. Only when a person does a wrong deed, he is banished. So he was banished from the kingdom. But by that time, he was already married and he got a son. His name was Amshumanta. And he asked Amshumanta, do you want to follow your father or you stay here? He said, no, my father is a sinful person. I will not stay with him. I will stay with you. So, because the citizens of any country, of every kingdom, they're also their own sons. They have to consider as their own sons. So that's how the kings rule. And Amshumanta, he came out to be very pious king. And under the shelter of the Sagara Chakravarti, he was ruling the kingdom very nicely. So King Sagara, he wanted to perform an Ashwamedha Yajna, sacrifice. And what was his belief? What was his backup? Is because he has got 60,000 sons. And the circumference of the earth is 60,000 yojanas. That means if you do 60,000, let me circumference. Okay, right now the circumference of the earth is around 25,000 miles. Okay, but at those time during Dasharath Maharaj, the Sagara Chakravarti, it was 60,000 yojanas. That is 60,000 into 8. That's equal to 480. 480,000 miles was the circumference of the earth. That is why when later on in in Kishkinda Kanda, Sugriva, he explains, like, from this to here you go, this much of distance you have to travel, you will find this kingdom, you have to cross those kingdoms. Now all those kingdoms are there, and even today the Lanka is there, but Lanka is just hardly 10 kilometers or something from Rameshwaram. But actually, as per the Ramayana, it is 100 yojanas long, distant from Rameshwaram. That is approximately around 800 miles far. So, and whenever the Lord takes birth, or when he incarnates, there are so many other associates. They also incarnate. All the demigods, they expand into the various either humanly or animal species, and they populate. So his opulence increases. So that time even the earth also expands. See, earth, you must understand that she is also a personality like us. How we have all personality, like that, she has also, every planet has a personality. Okay, Mother Earth. And what she would do, she would like any time when there is a requirement, she would really expand. If all the things are happening very nicely on the earth, like in the Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, she would expand. The earth expands and then again shrinks. Okay. And especially during the incarnation of like Lord Rama, Lord Krishna, she would definitely expand. So Sagara Chakravarti had this confidence that the circumference of the earth is 60,000 yojanas, and he has got 60,000 suns. So if each sun takes care of 1 mile, or sorry, 1 yojana distance, automatically the 60,000 suns, they can easily conquer the entire earth. So now they left the horse. It is Ashwamedha. That means they leave the horse. We discussed before how the birth of Rama, Dasharath Maharaj did the Ashwamedha. So they leave the horse, and wherever that horse goes, and that particular kingdom comes under the ruling of Sagara. So as this horse was going around, Indra, the demigod of the 3 planets, Indra, he took away this horse. And what did he do? He kept this horse in the ashrama of Kapila Muni in the Patala Lok. Kapila Muni is another incarnation of Lord Vishnu, Shaktavesha avatars. These are all Shaktavesha avatars. And he was living in the Patala Lok. So the guard of that horse, he immediately went back and said that I'm unable to find the horse, it is lost. Sagara was in the Diksha of the Yajna, so he cannot get up. So he called 60,000 sons and said that each son, you go and search 1 mile of the distances on this earth and find that horse. If you don't find it, then what you should do, you should dig the earth and go to the lower planetary systems also, and then search. So in Ramayana, you will find that there were tunnels on this planet Earth through which a person could go to the other planetary systems. There were some, some things like that, but it is no more there in the Kali Yuga. How we have airports, which is like a landing station and take off if one has to go from one country to another. How the rocket goes from one place to the another planet. Like that, there were also tunnels through which they were empowered, and a person could go through the tunnel. He would reach the other planetary, especially the lower planetary systems. So all the 60,000 suns, they started searching and they couldn't find. So they started digging the earth. And with this, the demigods were all disturbed, because they were digging the earth and it's not good. So it disturbs the earth. So they all asked Brahma, now earth is being dug like that, what should we do? Then Brahma said, you see, earth belongs to Vasudeva. You don't worry, he will kill them. He has incarnated as Kapiladev. So, and he's there in the Patala Lok, and the horse is also there. So he will take care of them. So they started digging, they couldn't find, they further started digging, and they reached to Patala Lok. And when they reached, they saw Virupaksha elephant was holding the earth. So there are 10 Diggajas, 10 different horses, which elephants, which hold the earth in its in air. They're called Diggajas. So they all had darshan of those Diggajas. And whenever it's mentioned, as per, you see the Ramayana, it is mentioned that whenever this elephant, it gets little pain on his head, it moves its head, and that's when you get earthquake. Valmiki has written, and Brahma is saying that whatever you write is truth. There cannot be any false. So this is one of the reasons why you would get earthquake. So after doing the pradakshina for that Virupaksha elephant, they left for Patala Lok. And they started digging in each direction. There are 10 directions, right? So each direction they started. And they are all overexcited people. Okay, you see, overexcited people are very dangerous, because they would not have the time or the patience or tolerance to contemplate or to think. We say, think before you speak. They would never have the time. They would just, this we have to do it, immediately they will do it. In the overexcitement. So they found that this horse was in the backyard of Kapila Muni's ashrama. And these 60,000 sons, they immediately thought that Kapila Muni is the one who stole the horse of Sakara Chakravarti. Instead of inquiring or declaring a war, normally if someone does like that, they need to declare a war before. See, my dear Swanson, you have abducted our horse, which is meant for Ashwamedha sacrifice. As per the rules, either we have to fight you, so we're coming for a war with you. They declare, and then the war happens. But here, because they were overexcited, they immediately wanted to kill Kapila Muni. And all of them were running towards Kapila Muni to kill him. Kapila Muni understood. He immediately, with his breath, he did a hunkar, like hum, like that. Just with that sound, all the 60,000 suns were burnt into ashes. Now there were 60,000 pile of ashes that were left. So Sakara Chakravarti was still in the Diksha. He was waiting for a very long time. And then he called his grandson, Amshumanta. He asked, can he go and search where they have gone? So he followed that direction of their sons, of the 60,000 sons. He also found, he also saw the Diggajas, the Virupaksha elephant. He prayed to them, and they said, yes, my dear sons, don't worry. They have all gone like this only. You can follow. So they showed the way. They blessed him. And then they told him that, he might be in the Kapila Muni's ashram. You go there in the Patalalok. So he went there and he found 60,000 piles of ashes. And he understood that they are dead. Now, the moment a person is dead, now a jala tarpanam has to be given, means offering some water, so that, because all the people who are dead, they'll be, if a person is not liberated, if he's still wandering in the material world, okay, so he'll be looking for some water. They will be very thirsty and hungry. So only once in a year, when they at the death ceremony day, when it comes, so they do that shardha, offering of oblations to forefathers. That is the only time when they take water or eat something. But in Kali Yuga, like as Bhagavatam says, that if a person has become a devotee, all those such ritualistic obligations to demigods, to forefathers, are automatically taken care. So he tried to do the Jala Tarpanam. Jala is water, and with water he tried to give the oblations to their forefathers. Immediately Garuda Dev comes and says, my dear Amshumanta, they all have been killed by the what? By the anger from a great sage like Kapila Muni. So whatever the water you're trying to give, the Tarpanam, it is not going to help. You need to get the water from the Ganga river, which is in the upper planetary systems or Devalok. So he abide by the by the instruction given by Garudadev. So he took the horse from the Kapila Ashrama. He went back to Ayodhya. He told all that happened. Sagarav Chakravarti, he felt very bad. But although he cannot get up, so he finished his Ashwamedha Yajna. But all through his life, he was always worried that how to make my sons, how to bring some peace to my sons. They're all wandering as ghosts. They have left their body. So Sagara, he left his body thinking, how to deliver them from such ghostly form. So meanwhile, what happened is, these Sagara Chakravarti's sons, 60,000 sons, they all dug up, right, the entire earth. In all those places, the water started slowly accumulating, and the ocean was formed. And that is why we call as Sagar. The Sagar, because it has manifested from the sons of Sagara Chakravartis. Like we say, Krishna's father is Vasudeva, and Krishna is called as Vasudeva. Like that. Sagara, his king's name is Sagara, and the sons are called as Sagaras. Because the ocean was created by them, it is called as Sagara. Okay. And so Sagara Chakravarti, he left his body. Then Amshumanta, he also left his body, thinking how to pacify their forefathers, how to bring Ganga. Then Dilipa, the next Muni was next king in that lineage was Dilipa. He came, he did great things, but he also left his body thinking how he can deliver their forefathers. Then from Dilipa, Bhagiratha, he came. He was born. So when he came to when he was ruling the kingdom, he called his ministers. He also knew from his father and grandfathers that there are 60,000 forefathers who are just in the ghostly forms, and they are so thirsty. Tarpanam, we need to give them. There is no peace for them. So he called for his ministers and told us the entire story. And he said that I will go and do the tapasya, austerity, so that I will know how to bring this Ganga Devi and pacify my forefathers. So first he went to the forest. He ate only once for a day. He kept his hands, both the hands, above his head in the form of namaskara, stretched upright. He did the tapasya like that. He burnt the fire around him, and looking at the hot sun, he did a great penance for Brahma for 1,000 years. And after 1,000 years, Brahma appeared. And he said, he asked for two boons. The first boon is that Ikshvaku dynasty has always child problems. No kid is born. I request that there should be no problem of any child in Ikshvaku dynasty. That was the first boon. And he said, sure, there'll be no problem. You will always get one progeny. And the second boon was Ganga, which is flowing in the upper planetary systems, should come down and flow down and to deliver my forefathers. So Brahma said, okay, first one is fine, but the second one, yes, we can do it, but there should be a person who can withstand the force of Ganga when she is flowing from the upper planetary systems to the earth. Because earth cannot withstand the force. It'll get displaced. So he said, only Shiva can do it, Lord Shiva. Then again, Bhagiratha, he did 1 year penance, great austerity to please Lord Shiva. Same like no eating any food. He became immovable. So being pleased with his tapasya, Shiva appeared. And Shiva said, no, what do you want? And he said, no, this is what is required, that Ganga should flow. So Shiva said, sure, I will hold it. I'll hold the Ganga on my head. So now Brahma, he requested Ganga to go and go to the earth planetary system. So Shiva, he stood on the earth, especially in the Himalayas, and he opened his jata juta, his hair, his locked hair, he spread it out, and Ganga, with full pride, she thought, what the Shiva can do? He cannot withstand my force. And Shiva understood. So he showed his way of mercy. So Ganga, she fell down from the Devaloka onto the head of Shiva. And it is keep on falling, but not even one drop was then again falling from the matted hair of Shiva onto the Himalayas. And like this, 1 year passed away. Then Bhagiratha again, he requested, my dear Lord, please show some mercy. I did this long tapasya again, please show some mercy on my forefathers. By this time, Ganga also understood that Shiva is not an ordinary man. And then Shiva agreed, and the Ganga fell down on the earth with 7 streams, from the head of the Shiva, from the different hair locks, like 7 streams originated from the head of Shiva. And how once they fell down, one is called Alakananda, one is called Bhagiratha. Right now, those rivers in Uttarakhand, if you see, you will have this different 7 rivers, and they all join again at Rishikesh. Okay, until Rishikesh, the Ganga river, she is always flowing in the mountains. at Haridwar. Rishikesh and Haridwar are like twin cities. Rishikesh is little upstream, and after little downstream is Haridwar, and Haridwar is a place where the Ganga river, she touches the normal land, flat land, and it is a gateway to Badrinath. Hari ka Dwar. Hari is Lord Vishnu, and Dwar is the gateway. That's why it's called Haridwar. So, and how this river was flowing? Bhagirath was going in his chariot in the front, and wherever he would go, Ganga would take that path. So in front, there is Bhagirath, and behind Ganga is flowing. And as he was taking that route from Himalayas and going down, in between there was, and how the Ganga river was flowing with full force. With tall waves, she was flowing. And when Bhagirath was going, in between what happened is, there was Jahnu Maharshi's ashram. It's a great sage, his name is Jahnu. So his ashrama was there on the way, and Ganga consumed his ashram. She destroyed that ashram. So Jahnu Maharshi became angry. He like, how don't you have any sense? Like, you should have some consideration. And she saw how Ganga was still proud, and what he did is, he took the entire Ganga as like Aiposanam. That means he put the Ganga in her hand, and how we do Achmana, like that he did Achmana, and he drank up. Now, Bhagirath, he saw why there is no sound of gushing waters behind me. And he saw that Jahnu Maharshi is consuming that Ganga. And for a long time there, it is not coming. Then Bhagirath is asking again forgiveness from Jahnu Maharshi. Please, after so much of struggle, that today, that Ganga has appeared from Devalok, and she's going there to deliver my forefathers. So Jahnu Maharshi also understood. Is that sure? So from his right ear, he pulled his right ear, and Ganga again started flowing out of the right ear, and everything became normal. So that is why anytime when we become impure, we touch the right ear with our forefinger. It means like, we get purified. Then slowly Bhagirath shows the way, and she finally reaches the Kapila Muni's ashrama. And she flows over the piles of ashes, and all the 60,000 souls were delivered from their ghostly forms. And they all reached the heavenly planets. Now, Valmiki Maharshi is giving a Phalashruti here again. Again, a material Phalashruti and spiritual also. That those who hear the story with faith, they will have great fame, they will have more life, and they go to heavenly planets. Their forefathers will be very happy. So all of you who are there in the call, automatically all your forefathers are satisfied. Okay. Then the spiritual benediction is that lot of your sins will be washed away. Okay. So with this, Vishwamitra Muni, he concludes the story of Ganga Avatarana. Okay. I'll stop here. Any questions?